Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Today's topic is prosopagnosia. Prosopagnosia is the inability to recognize familiar faces. Now, this is also known as face blindness. Individuals with prosopagnosia struggle to see faces holistically. Rather, they see the face as different components. Now, an example of this symptom include when participants were shown a picture similar to this one. And individuals with prosopagnosia were able to decipher the different vegetables. However, they were unable to recognize that these vegetables, as a whole, make a face.
This condition can be so severe that individuals may not be able to recognize family members based on appearance alone. They will depend on voice, fashion, hairstyles, and the way that they walk. Studies have shown that people with prosopagnosia have difficulty discerning between familiar and unfamiliar faces. This proves that it isn't a memory issue, rather it is a perceptual issue. This disorder can be as extreme as not being able to recognize one's own face among countless others. Due to the inability to recognize faces, these individuals struggle to follow along to TV shows and movies. This is because they cannot recognize facial expressions or follow along with the different characters. For this reason, people with prosopagnosia often watch cartoons because it is easier to distinguish the different characters due to the fact that they often wear the same outfit and have distinct voices.
Fun fact: in a special case of prosopagnosia, a farmer was unable to differentiate his cows from one another. Now, you're probably wondering, how does this condition occur? Well, it usually occurs when one person suffers damage to their brain, more specifically from lesions in the occipitotemporal fusiform face region. Now, the fusiform face region is in the fusiform gyrus, and it is a part of the human visual system that's main role is to recognize faces. Now, it can also occur when the white matter within your brain is reduced.
Prosopagnosia can either be from genetics or can be developed later on in life due to any brain damage. Prosopagnosia can occur in people with normal intelligence, memory, and low-level vision. The only thing they struggle with is the ability to recognize faces.
Congenital prosopagnosia. This refers to the deficit in face processing that occurs from early childhood without any neurological basis or trauma. However, this is pretty rare. Studies conducted on congenital prosopagnosia reveal that within the brain, more specifically the ERP, which stands for evoke, response, potentials, the N170 reflects the neural processing of faces, elicits objects as well as faces. Essentially, what this means is when somebody saw a house, their brain treated it the exact same way as when somebody sees a face.
Did you know that 1 in every 50 people suffer from prosopagnosia? This condition makes it difficult to identify emotions, which makes it hard for people with prosopagnosia to grow a bond with others. Due to these difficult social situations, individuals with prosopagnosia can develop anxiety and/or depression.
In order to diagnose prosopagnosia, individuals will have to do a computer-based test. A few examples of these tests include the Cambridge Face Memory Test and the Cambridge Perception Test, which both include pointing out a target face out of plenty of other faces and arranging faces in order of similar to least similar to the target face.
One specific case study that was done involved a 19-year-old girl named A.R. 2 different experiments were done with her. The first one consisted of taking the target face and putting primes on it, such as a nose, eyes, and mouth. The second experiment was taking the target face and breaking it up into different pieces to look like a puzzle. Results found that it didn't matter if the face was broken up or left whole. Rather, the way that the face was able to be remembered was when it had different components and obvious primes to it. What did we learn today? Well, we learned that prosopagnosia affects the way individuals see other faces. It can be developed after injuries or be congenital. 1 in 50 people suffer from prosopagnosia. and it affects the fusiform face area and the occipitotemporal region.
Well, that's all the time we have today, folks. Thank you so much for joining in. Tune in next time for our next little educational talk. Bye-bye.